Damn, chill, you got another one?
What's poppin'? You already know the deal. You are now rockin' with no chill for real. We about to get ill. What did you expect for me to bow down, get soft and talk politically correct? They consider me a threat, especially if they goofy, cause I clown guys, no lies, I just do it truthfully. It's on the house like Snoopy, it's free in other words. I'm a nightmare to these super squares and nerds. I barbecue 'em with words when I'm through commentating. One thing you'll never see me ever do is hating, lying, exaggerating, or fabricating for views. If you not built for the street like a pair of shoes, as square as a Rubik's Cube, stop it and leave the field, or wind up a topic on no chill for real. You square as a Rubik's Cube, stop it and leave the field, or wind up a topic on no chill for real. All gas, no brakes. Gotta keep the pressure on these cowards and these snakes. Honor over money, gotta do what it takes. Gotta keep the pressure on these cowards and these snakes.
Gotta stay going in.
All gas, no brakes. Gotta keep the pressure on these cowards and these snakes. Honor over money, gotta do what it takes. Gotta keep the pressure on these cowards and these snakes. You are now rocking with No Chill for real. I'm not your doctor, so how you feel, man? Hey, look, I'm back, man. Y'all know what it is, man. Yeah, okay, so you may have heard that intro. That is not a change intro. This actually is a video from my other channel called No Chill for real. Sometimes I drop videos on this channel just to send traffic to my other channel, man. So please tap in on my other channel, like and subscribe over there. I'm gonna be doing things that is not related to the prison content, man. So the big word is this, man. J Hood is back in jail. Now I'm gonna keep it 100 because on No Chill for real, man, we keep it real over here, man. We don't, you know what I'm saying? We don't pull no strings, none of that stuff, man. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is, right? And I don't want nobody to misconstrue my words when I say I saw this coming. I'm not saying that I wanted him to go back to jail. Don't get that part messed up. I'm just saying that I saw J Hood eventually going back to jail, right? And the reason why is because I did a reaction video to J Hood's channel a long time ago when he had first started, dropping videos when he was still in prison. And he was on a very positive tip, right? He was on a very positive message. But from time to time, once B Brazy's page started popping, I seen from time to time, depending on what was said out there in this YouTube space, he would get drawn in to controversy. You know, there was no doubt you could see that the lion was still in him, right? And he was having a lot of trouble, even though he was trying to be positive, he was having a lot of trouble containing the lion, you know what I'm saying? And if you're unable to push down the lion, if you're unable to push down that old J Hood, and while you sitting in a prison cell, of course, when you get on the streets and you have more access to what's going on out here, it's going to be hard to contain that, right? Because me doing YouTube, I know that's one of the hardest things is dealing with what's being said in the content. Dealing with what's being said in the comments, so on and so forth, right? But I first seen on Young Aunt Hefe's channel, he reported why, according to him, what he heard on why J Hood is back in jail, right? So without further ado, man, let's get into what Aunt Hefe said is the reason J Hood is back in jail.
So from my understanding, right, J Hood was in a backstreet Crips hood, you know what I'm saying, in Watts, you know what I'm saying, not too far from Lock High School, you know what I'm saying. I don't know the exact block he was on, but he was over there in their hood. Obviously, he got some friends over there, dudes that he's fond of. So he's over there kicking it with them on the block, chilling, and the police came through. The back street Watts hood is, from my understanding, man, that whole area right there, that vicinity, the back streets, the front streets, East Coast is, you know what I'm saying, Lemon Dudes neighborhoods, that's like a very little hot and janky area. And I definitely see the police passing through there a lot when I'm just passing through there, driving on my way to where I'm going. So allegedly he was over there on the block, chilling with them. Police hit the block, you know what I'm saying, get on the back street dudes, you know, gaffle people up as they do, start searching people and stuff like that. So after them searching people and stuff like that, I guess they started going to cars, and J Hood was not in his car, but there was an occupant preoccupying his car that was sitting on the passenger side of his car while he was out the car. So after the police not finding anything on these dudes, I guess the police started going through cars, and I guess the vehicle that J Hood was in, the police went to searching that vehicle. They went to searching that vehicle. They go in the glove compartment allegedly, and allegedly a gun was found. They asked who car it was. J Hood tell them it's his car. They say they found a gun. He like, huh? He like, yeah, we find the gun. We found the gun. Come on. Guest ran his name. See all the other stuff that he just got out of prison and things like that. And that is a first round ticket to jail. However, my little partner, slid in there, went to go visit him, make sure everything is everything. I don't think it's gonna be that long. He should be out in a few days.
So yeah, man, y'all saw that, right? So like I said, man, don't misconstrue my words. I didn't want this to happen, but I saw it coming because listen, when you out there, right, whether you a gang, see, okay, according to J Hood, he made the transition from gang banger where you actively out there pursuing your enemies, you out there, you set tripping, you doing what gang bangers do, right? But he said he had made the transition from gang banger to gang member. You know what I'm saying? So now you still representing and you just not out there actively seeking your enemies. You're not out there looking to, participate in gang banging activities, but you still hanging around gang members. You are still putting yourself in high risk situations, right? I seen a couple of days ago when he was going through his back and forth with Crip Mac, right? And he was saying that he was over there hanging out with the Hoovers, right? So when you hanging out with gang, it don't matter if you hanging out with the Hoovers, you hanging out with over there in Watts, you hanging out in Compton, you hanging out in South Central LA. If you are putting yourself in the close proximity of gang members, then you got dudes out there with guns, you got dudes out there with drugs, and what's even worse than that is you got the police coming through these high risk areas. They gonna hop out and do what they do, or you gonna have enemies sliding through, hopping out, looking to do what they do, right? So how many times, man, have we seen people who are not gang bangers get caught up in situations, whether it's females who unfortunately lose their life, whether it's innocent kids or whatever, right? So when you continue to put yourself in these high risk situations, then you increase your chances of getting caught up in an unfortunate situation. And that's what's happened, right? Like I say, man, the police is gonna come through here. You may have dudes, throw guns, you may have dudes throw drugs or whatever. And if you stand in close proximity to it, you have a chance of the police taking you to jail, because it don't matter if the guns is yours or not. It don't matter if the drugs is yours or not. What matters is what the police claim they saw or what they put down on the police report, right? And so even if they're wrong, that the police have the power, through being police, they have the power to pretty much put a monkey wrench in your program for the time being. Even if you have to go back to jail and sit up in there a week, a month, or whatever it is, right? But you have to take accountability, man, for what you're doing, right? And to me, check it out, man. It's crazy because you have served all this time. We talking about J Hood. You have served all this time, right? You finally got your freedom back, man. And you are going to hang out around people who probably wasn't even thinking about you 3-4 weeks ago, 5-6 months ago, or however long it was before you got out, right? That should not be your first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, or ninth, or 10th concern or top thing on your priority list, man. If you and okay, we're gonna keep it 100 too. It looked like J Hood is living out there pretty good. Look like he got some family support, and that's extremely important, man. Everybody is not able to go to prison and come home to the support he came home to, right? So if you have the means to remove yourself as much as possible from the environment and from the individuals that sent you to prison, you have to do that, right? That's extremely important, man, to remove yourself as much as possible from everything that's connected to what sent you to prison. And see, that's the difference between going to do time as a lifer and going to do time as a person who has a release date. You are not forced to take these classes, and it's not to your advantage to take these classes, and so you don't have a change in thinking. It's easier to say that I'm gonna change. I'm not just to get out there and do the same thing. But how many gang members have we watched get out of prison and slowly fall back into these same habits because they don't have a system already in place to recognize when they're doing things that are negative, right? So and then so at the end of the day, man, J Hood has to be responsible for J Hood. I left a message on one of his videos, a while ago, and I was telling him, hey man, J Hood, I don't know if he's seen the message or not. I was telling him, hey man, J Hood, do not get dragged back into this YouTube stuff. Stay out here and get your bread, man, because it's easy to get caught up into this stuff, right? So at the end of the day, man, unfortunately, J Hood is responsible for J Hood, right? I seen the video. He was just talking about how lovely it was to fall asleep on a big old giant couch that he had fell asleep on the night before while watching the video, right? And so, yeah, man, hopefully he will use this as a learning lesson. And last but not least, I also saw people in the comments, in Aunt Hefe's comments, saying, well, Aunt Hefe, hey man, you shouldn't have put this out there, man. This is his personal business. But we got to understand and realize this, right? First and foremost, man, YouTube is a job, right? So, when dudes see things that they believe um a lot of people who watch their channel are going to be interested in, they're going to put that out there, right? J Hood came home, and I don't know how long it took, but it wasn't he wasn't home long before he jumped right into the YouTube space and continued his YouTube channel that he had in prison, right? So when you make yourself accessible to the public by doing these videos, then of course you're gonna have the people who take an interest in you and they want to know what's going on, right? And so sometimes, man, an individual is going to become content because this is entertainment, right? And sometimes that content is gonna be at the misfortune of somebody else. That's just how it goes, man. You don't want people to be all in your personal business, man. You have to stay up off this internet, man. I say this all the time, man. If I decide to go to Walmart and try to steal me some steaks or whatever, and I get caught slipping, I get caught stealing, and people find out about it, I'm gonna be all over YouTube. People are going to find my misfortune content, man. So at the end of the day, it is up to the individual, man, to move wise and do the right thing. It is what it is, man. You know what I'm saying? And so hopefully when he's free, when he regains his freedom, he will use this as a lesson, man. You cannot continue to put yourself around the same environment, around the same individuals, do the same activities that sent you to prison, or chances are you are going back. Those are the chances, man. So anyway, man, look, y'all already know what it is. It's no chill for real. I'm not your doctor, so how you feel? And until the next episode, respect the code.